All right, let's get into the market report, ladies and gentlemen, and I've got some interesting stuff there this week. There was a lot of not a ton of stuff, but some interesting stuff. And I think one of the most interesting things to me is obviously the falling prices on some of the stuff that I'm just surprised that it's fallen. But there's also some really cool stuff out there that I think, yes, the big flush, and there's also some really cool stuff out there that like you can get for cheap now because of it. So I think you hit it on the head, Trey. The big flush. Everybody's getting out. All right, here we go. Let's do this.
I don't think they should. That's the thing.
No.
Like the AF50, like the blue chips they're always going to be blue chips. Like stuff like this, fucking get rid of it.
Yeah.
Not the Ultimate Fallout, but the Wolverine 88. I mean, it's a cool cover, but that's really as soon as that movie comes out, that book's going to. What's the point of speculating on it?
That book's hold fucking. Thank God that book has held its ground for over a year now. And there's deluxe and non-deluxe, and non-deluxe is more tough. I sold mine for $400 something in May. That book's been a $400 something book. So even though it's got hotter, the prices just stayed. So anything where I see the price stay the same right now actually makes me happy.
Well, the interesting thing is that
I'm out of them. I don't have any left, but
yeah, the one on the left is the regular deluxe, and the one on the right is the $1.50 price deluxe. There's a $1.50 price variant deluxe and a $1.95 price variant deluxe. So, and you know, like you said, Sean, these things were going for $1,000+, I think, a couple weeks ago. Right? No, what were they selling for when the news came out?
Well, I don't think they were $1,000, dude. And I think there's three.
Thank you.
There's deluxe,
okay,
non-deluxe.
Drew hit this on the nail. What Drew just said is that is the only comment on this fucking book. The price is great, but putting a 9.9 question mark in the fucking title is bullshit seller tactics, and it makes comic people look bad.
Well, that's a $3,000 book. That was a $3,000 book for almost a year, maybe half a year. Mel paid more than $3,000 for that book. Didn't
a lot of people did?
Yeah,
there are a lot of different sites that went up 34 to 36.
Well, Mel's after Mel's variant came out this week, he should be able to make that $3,000 back pretty easily. Because there's no way
he have a variant.
Yes, the Notorious B.I.G. That's not Biggie. That's fucking Mel Vaughn from 4 years ago.
He's looking good right now, man. Sean got to hang out with him the other day. He's looking good, man. So.
Yeah, dude.
I got a drunk dial from my two old buddies at like 2:00 in the morning. Amelia's sick as shit right now, and she's asleep. She literally got COVID, dying, and they're trying to call. I was like, I want to talk to them, but I can't.
We were literally at the bar.
So 800 a week ago, I guess, or a couple weeks ago on those. Does that sound better? Probably.
Let's be honest.
But like honestly, but how many sold? It was like one of the last copies on eBay or something, because you weren't out of those. Who the hell was listening to him at 800? They weren't even already sitting at 800. I'm not saying that he's wrong, but I'm sure he's not. But you know how many copies went for that? Was there some auctions that were already like in place or something like that? It's a great book. It's their first meeting. You know, they fight. They were already in a movie together. It's a Kubert cover, right? So
you think that's a key? Do you think that's a key book?
Yeah, first Wolverine versus Deadpool. Really? Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh shit! Jesus Christ! Wait, keys books are already keys before they come out. Don't you know that now?
Yeah. So here's 800 on the 21st is when it spiked, and you're right, Sean. It's been pretty steady.
Yeah.
You can see.
I literally
when the movie comes out,
my dollar bin copy of that. And
so I want to ask you: the day that the day Deadpool 3 comes out, how much does the 9.8 sell for that midnight?
I don't think it's not whatever the market's at. Things aren't going up when the movie drops anymore.
That's what I mean. Like, how is this book going to hold its value?
I think it can hold a $400 value. Some fucking idiot paid $920. Well, there's got to be that 920's got to be a newsstand or something, dude. There's it's not. These aren't equal. There's 3 different versions of this book. And the deluxe version supposedly cool. Okay, and then there's also an insert in this book that wraps around the inside cover. So it can be a pain in the ass to press this thing too, because you got like it's the full fucking magazine card folded insert too. Like literally like the size of my hands, like that. Like it's not like a little kind of like the tattoos, but a little bigger. I think a little bigger. So yeah, so it's a pain in the ass to press. But it's an easy book to press except for the insert for people. It's not that hard if you know what the fuck you're doing, but a lot of people don't. And
I don't think I pressed one of those.
Yeah, so it's actually it's an easy book to fix up, but the paper it's that fun pressing paper. If it doesn't have the color breaks, you're like, I got this, dude.
By the way, guys, if you don't know who 78 Points of Articulation is, that guy is a fucking stud. He knows his action figures. He's kind of like International Josh. He's into a lot of the stuff we all are into. But if you're not following his Instagram page, you guys are screwing up. He, honest to God, has one of the coolest action figure pages on the deal. Paul W. showed me about that guy. And like I said, it's cool how that works out. And then you become friends with the guy. But he's helping us out in the Discord too. Awesome guy. Super talented.
Next we have I love that Power Comics 3. You know, I just love when I see it sell. It's a great book. That's a kind of a torn up cover, but it's 1944 LB Cole, great like magician style cover. Sold for $6.95. I'm sure right as it went up, somebody sniped it. But here's the interesting thing: these two books right here, you guys know the one on the far right, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Last Run, and the Staniak. That's Hive / Nerd Store variant, in my opinion. Put the Hive in front. But it's limited to $250, and it is one of the most beautiful covers. It is one of those like semi grails for me. I'm kind of bummed I missed out on it for $315. It was selling for twice that forever. But again, starting to see these exclusives starting to drop. The Last Ronin #1 Bartling, that book literally made Bartling into what he is. I mean, nobody really kind of had much idea about Bartling. He made that cover, boom. He everybody's like, I need to get him on my next exclusive cover, and he has been putting out exclusive variant covers for 2 years.
Who's his colorist though? That's what I want to know.
Well,
that's
book,
a local store too.
Yeah, that book was selling for like $1,000 raw itself for a long time.
The guy won't open his doors for COVID still. So
wow.
Anyway, so I've never been in there. And but
him and Sean would get along.
Can I go back? Here's the deal. Yeah, exclusives dropping. What are these fucking on release day? $80. So to my opinion, they were just a little inflated. So so I don't even know if they were that much on release day. Probably they're much more because of the size of it and the trade paperback, graphic novel, whatever you want to say, quality of it. I'm sure they cost a lot more to print than a regular comic book. But I mean, that's not that big a drop considering what we're seeing and the store exclusive stuff not holding their value. I don't know, man. I think this one's not too bad.
Yeah.
So,
next we've got.
People really like that Ronin story, though. I have not read it. I'm not going to pretend I did, but the turtle guys like Paul and them. I mean, they really, really went hard into this, right? Like it's one of the better turtle stories.
They just fucked up by the delay. There was a big delay on it that killed all the momentum it had. There was a ton of momentum, and there were some great covers for that run. Next, that Ghost Rider #1, the Robbie Reyes series has such great variants, and that 1 in 25, that Felipe Smith cover, $444 raw, man, which is like wow.
Yeah. The best part is I think I had that on my eBay for $300, and at some point, I found out today that I took it off because I found it in my eBay box today. So I did not sell that motherfucker.
Good.
Yeah.
Dude.
I like Sean's little giggle. Like,
that's exciting. Maybe, hey, it's rare when things are going up these days. Okay.
Incredible Hulk.
Am I an asshole for not liking Todd drawing of Hulk at any point?
I don't like that either. I think he's like the way he scrunches his face, and it's got he's got that real Frankenstein vibe. But that cover, you have to admit, like that cover is one of those covers that in a 9.8, like that's a tough book to get in a 9.8. That's a tough book to get in a 9.8. Those early McFarlane, old school 90s, 80s, late 80s Marvel books. $822 for a 9.8. But again, I'm with you, Trey. I'm not a big fan of McFarlane's Hulk. who doesn't want a Conan the Barbarian #1 signed by Schwarzenegger, the photo variant? Like that right there is a great book to have for anybody. You don't even have to be a comic book fan to want that.
I forgot mine was on eBay and it sold.
Oh no!
For $1,000. So.
Oh, nice.
That's not bad.
9.8 though.
If I remember, that was like a $520 buy-in, right?
No, it was like fucking $200. It was stupid.
Better.
One of the good things that dipshit did for me.
Next, Mallrats magazine. I like that. Signed by Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes, Jay, and Silent Bob. You can go get the rest of the that's a cool magazine to actually look for, to like have either to sell to people that get autographs on, or if you're a Mallrats fan or a Kevin Smith fan or whatever. That's a cool book to be on the lookout for. A 9.8 signed by Mewes and Kevin Smith sold for $449. I've never seen the Breaking Bad book.
I'd probably buy both those books, the Breaking Bad and the Mallrats for sure. To signed $449. Yeah, 9.8.
I've never seen that. I don't know where it was a promo. Comic chat, let us know. Do you guys know? Have you ever seen? You remember where that was a promo out of? 2013, which is right in our wheelhouse, man. Like that should be something that we should all know about. So $305 for 9.8 of that, and then I'm such a big fan of 377. I love the first, the second, and of course the third print. That third print's tough to get in high grade.
Bro, I found 3 Raws at a comic book store in Wichita, Kansas. Back in the heyday, I used to. God, it's still there, but hey, it's one of those ones where I wanted that book. And Brian, I'm going to. He's like, hey, there's like 10 long boxes that no one's gone through, and you know me, I'm fucking. That's back when I was a digger, and like it was in that first handful. And I go, and there's one, and I was like, holy shit. And I go again, and there's another, and there's fucking 3 of them. Got them at $1 a piece. It's one of those ones where you're walking to the car, and you're looking over your shoulder thinking they're going to come running. Like, hey, wait. And then
you put a decoy book on top?
Yeah, it's one of those ones you just, like, when you get in the car and you get your seatbelt, and you're like, okay, it's happening.
Fuck no, dude. That's when you wait for the fucking Pokemon kid to fucking get to the cash register and sprint over there. Come on, dude. We all know how it goes.
All right, here we go.
It's such a unique yellow-green color, too, is what's weird about it. Like,
yes, it is.
It's beautiful, dude.
Yeah, the purple, it all hits right.
Yeah, and the first and second print are just as good.
Is that it's a Dale Keown, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Great art. Iconic piece of art right there. As a matter of fact, so iconic, they use it in the corner boxes, as you can see.
Good call.
Next, 2 more Spawn variants sold this week. These are the Image Expo, the black and white, and the regular from Spawn 283. Black and white is supposedly only 500, and a raw sold for 836, and then the regular copy, the red exclusive, sold for 480. So pretty interesting. This one on the far right is so interesting to me. This is the type of shit that I love to talk about. This is why we do what we do. Like, I don't know why he calls it first Batgirl, but maybe that's why I figured there was 2 people playing Batgirl, because he said first Batgirl, but still, it's kind of cool to see it in that case too. All right, next.
I want it. That's all I have to say is I want it.
Look at that Outlawed #1, the 9.8.
Okay.
That book was a $3,000 book in 9.8. I sold mine, I think, for $2,600. I want to say.
You got another one coming, so.
I got another one coming. You're right. So,
hey, what's that Sum 4? Hey, what's Sum 4 going for now?
That's a good book too, man. I want that book. I think that's a great book to go and pick up.
That's the Mel V book, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sum 3 doesn't get enough love.
Yeah, I like the Sum with Gwenpool too, when she's in the toy machine, the claw machine.
Yeah, they're all pretty cool, to be honest.
She's such a weird character to spec or even think about specking on. Like, do you think Marvel will pull the trigger and put her in anything?
Yes. Yes. Animation.
Oh, for sure, animation.
Yeah,
100%. She's not already in animation.
You don't think that if they do some type of multiverse tie-in in this movie to bring Wolverine in, that there couldn't be a slight door for Gwenpool to make an appearance just for the hardcore fans?
Just
maybe in this new Deadpool. in the multiverse.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
to bring Wolverine back from the dead, there's got to be some multiverse fuckery that's going to happen. I mean, honestly, I don't know how else you can bring him back. And that's how they're bringing people back through the multiverse deal. So if they're opening up that chance of different, you know, Deadpools and Wolverines, I think there's a chance. I hate the character. But the spec makes sense on that one a little bit more than some of the others I've heard.
Yeah. The 2 Gunslinger books, I can't believe that you know, Spawn 175. No, it's not the first appearance, but it's such an iconic cover, and to me that book should be more than a $500 book. But $457 on a 9.8, and then 174 went for almost $800 on a 9.8. So love both those books.
Those are both about half, I think, right?
Dude, I got a raw newsstand 175 that got a chance at a 9.8. No bullshit.
Ooh. Wow.
It might not be newsstand. I'm not sure if they said direct. I don't think they said direct on those spawns. I think they were all the same.
Oh no. It's still a great book. All right. I love Miles covers. I love Miles variants. And the Spider-Gwen 16, Dave Johnson, is one of my all-time favorites with Gwen and Miles. And that book has dropped to about half. That was an $800 book for a long time. I felt like it should have been a $1,000 book. A non-signed one went for $480, and then a signed 9.8 by Dave Johnson went for $425. I got another Miles sale that happened later that I'm going to talk about in the show. But I think that if you're going to spec on variants or you're going to buy variants, I think Miles and Spider-Gwen are 2 of the characters that are still worth kind of, you know, taking a look at and holding for some of those variants.
And this was a $1,200 raw book, so
yeah. Strange Academy won the Opania as a 9.6 and missed out on it. Yeah, totally missed out on that. 431, love that. How about that one?
Ooh,
yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 300, a 9.8, sold for $4,000.
Gone down then, hadn't it?
Yeah. By more, that was like $10,000 book at one point. It sold for $10,000.
I think that's the highest I saw. It was like 8.
Yeah, did it get to 8? I thought it was like 65 to 7 on a non-newsstand, but still, it's down. Buy the 9.6s on that book, dude. It's not going to go anywhere.
The Remco 6-inch Johnny's very cool. $242 on that. But didn't you have one of those R2s that you're sending out? That's an AFA 75, bro.
Ours is at CV. Wait,
CAS.
Yeah, collector. We did the collector grade glass and all that shit. So, and that was the one, if you remember, it had the minor bubble indentation.
Yes.
Your boy got it. Nice.
Yep.
There was obviously those old bubbles. If you know what I'm talking about, if you press in, it leaves that white. It leaves a white mark on where the actual curve is. And I mean, there's a faint white mark, but I mean, I showed a guy and he said I bumped it up at least a 5 on the AFA scale by doing what I did. And I'm happy.
Somebody had sent me, and if they're in the chat, let me know who it was. They sent me a story about a guy buying a storage locker, and there was a ton of unsold action figures, Star Wars action figures in it from that time period, I guess. And he's on the YouTube, and I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I can find the story because it is mind blowing. It's absolutely crazy. Star Wars figures, and if there's anybody in the chat that knows what I'm talking about, it was recently. It was a couple weeks ago, I think it was, and the guy is actually, I think, selling them on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, or he's selling them. He's selling them somewhere. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah, Nate. There we go. Nate, I sent you a video. There we go. Nate, let me find that. Nate, do you have the same name on IG? You have the same name. Yeah, there it is. There we go. Boom. Check this out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Look at that.
They were. Look at this. All pristine cards. Look at all those Yodas.
Oh shit! Look at
Han
the
Solo. Look at all those Boba Fetts. Yeah.
Somebody found him $500,000.
Yeah.
It's literally all of our dream for this or comics or whatever, dude. To just
this is the last 17.
Hold on. So a guy
17.
named Junkman found them?
No. Marcus is here. I'm gonna bring Marcus in a second. Today we look at finding vintage Star Wars action figures. 78 to 85 just found over 400 in mint shape, selling at Morphe auctions. So, but yeah, go check it out. I'll drop the link.
Ooh.
We've got 2 cool G.I. Joe figures. I love that Mega Viper, the Mega Marines Viper that came with a little goo, and then of course the OG Alley Viper. Alley Vipers just look so cool, and they would be the worst color for a GI or a uniform. But as you can see, it's got the yellow Alley Viper on the card with the orange Alley Viper, and the orange and blue Alley Viper on as the figure. So I love that too. But that's when GI Joe started getting kind of shitty, when they started having the weapon trees and the neon colors. Anyways, House of 1,000 Corpses, set of 4 figures, $340. I'm not surprised. That's such a big, set that people just love to collect. They absolutely love it. All right, here is some more. Let's see here.
I still want a mint condition Globulus. The problem is every kid chews on the fucking tail. They all got teeth marks on those Globuluses.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
He was a worm dude from the movie.
So this is some interesting stuff right here. This got sold and then resold again. It is a 9.2 RRP. And if you guys remember, we had a 9.8 that was sold for like 10 grand recently. This is a 9.2. It sold for like 2,300 and then went back up and sold for like 1,800, something like that. So, man, talk about a bad time to put up that book. I feel bad for that guy.
Look at the feedback.
What does the feedback say? Oh, great. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Well, you can tell that they're not used to. I mean, it doesn't mean it's probably a collector that's not used to selling.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally have like a real camera flash and
serious bidders only,
and a fucking 1971 Afghan.
Well, look where the book's at in Ohio. Shit,
50%. Wait. Go to the feedback. It says 50% positive feedback, and they have 0.
Yeah, because the guy that
drives me crazy, dude. I gotta.
Yeah, the dude that probably bought it before caused them some issues, but or they are a scammer, How about this one, you guys?
Oh, that's dang it! That's one of the ones I always wanted to find.
There's one of your Grails.
Oklahoma City,
in your own city, brother.
This is Rad Ray. Bro, you don't know Rad Ray?
No, I don't think I'd hang out with Rad Ray.
This book was printed without the black ink second go round on it, as you guys can see, and it is a known heir that they talk about, and it's super rare. And the guy put it up for $3,500, and it immediately got sold.
I'd have thought about it if I'd have seen it for $35. I'd have text Sean and been like, "Hey, what do you think?"
You guys, I'm actually kind of angry. I missed out on this. Yeah,
I couldn't help myself, but bid more than that on that.
Yeah, Batman number 1, 2, and 3, all the RRP 1 and 250s or 1 and 200s. I can't remember. 200s, I think. Yeah. And they're signed.
Slider and Capullo, triple. Oh my fucking god!
All 9.8s, you guys. That one right there would have got $2,000 a couple of years ago when this series was hot. That was a $2,000 book. This is a Batman 3-pack from 1977 that is unopened, but this is kind of cool. I love these type of things. And if you see, what is that? That's Black Adam. That is Shazam 28.
Oh shit!
Right? Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I like shit like this.
Yeah.
It's probably a 4.5.
That's the best, dude.
Welcome back, Cotter on the back.
And think about how you have to know. I'm curious who the seller is because, okay,
TNT.
yeah. No, I mean whatever,
I've
but like
seen a lot. You know what's crazy?
Yeah, I have. But
I've
the
seen
feedback,
a lot of these,
because you got to know your shit to fucking figure that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I mean.
really
Like if I see a welcome back Cotter on a cover of one of these motherfuckers, I'm looking.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Because here's the thing, if you don't know about that, there, like I said, every show, any shitty store you go to, they literally have 4 or 5 of these somewhere. No bullshit. I've seen those Dynamite Comic DC packs for sale at a multitude of places. So could be a Miles Morales Ultimate Fallout 4 situation, depending on.
Well, speaking of that, that's coming up here shortly. Man O' Mars #1. This is a Golden Age from 1953. Look how badass that cover is.
Dude, that's She-Hulk's first appearance. What are you talking about?
Whoa.
Dude, that is amazing.
Let's go She-Hulk, man.
She got a knife? Is that a knife? Like in her cigarette holder?
That is yeah.
That's sexy as shit. Look at her. She'll cut you.
That's a great book, dude.
And she got that thing on her on the hip if she needs it too.
That's a good book right there. I want that book. So it sold for $1,000. Pretty cool. All right, check this out, you guys. Another great buy, in my opinion. Maybe some of you guys might disagree, but this is Clone Wars 1 through 12 for just $900 for the whole set. That book alone right there sells for $900. Raw, right? I mean,
does he have the condition marked as good?
Not anymore.
That's where he fucked up. Very good.
Yep.
Yeah, I see some.
Yeah, but
some pretty heavy spine ticks.
The problem is, eBay still doesn't have their shit together. So like they try to make you like pick things, like sometimes, and I don't fill them in, and people think that you have to fill them in. So like I would obviously for comic books, I'm never gonna put very good unless it's like an old fucking golden beater or something like that.
Yeah.
You put like there's like used, like new, very good. So I would put used.
Does
you know what I mean? And if you know anything about comics, you can't tell from that shit.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's spine ticks or it's the bags.
It might be the angle of the tick. If you look, that's a pretty bad tick at the angle. Okay, because you can see the white.
But the flash could be hitting it. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't look like this. It could have been the one that fell over in the box for all I know. But now, see there, you can actually see a little better. You can actually see the spine ticks here for sure. You're not really guessing. But I mean, not 9.8. But I mean, it's been bagged and boarded.
Nice little buy. Maybe a little bit less, but 28 bids on it. Check this out. Hawkman #4 from 2002 by Andrew Robinson. The original art. It's a painting. It's 15 by 20 original art. Look at that.
That only sold for $1,400.
Only $1,400, bro.
I gotta start paying attention to shit again. I'm looking at like fucking Dukes of Hazzard lunchboxes and shit, and instead I need to be looking at fucking cool art like this.
Peter Tomasi, Andrew Robinson. Yeah, that's amazing.
Bro, I've been watching Bryan do this report, usually with him for like years, and I say that every fucking week. So
yeah,
this is the vibe. This is what's so cool about this show is I get to be a part of it, and then it feels like the last 15 minutes is I'm not even on the show, that I'm literally just like watching it with everybody else. He doesn't tell us, like we don't know what's on here, which is we're literally finding this out with you guys, which makes it fun to us too.
So this isn't Sean's. I don't think it's Sean's. Sean's sold last week. But this corn is dog? This
corn dog no?
Yeah, corn dog no. 78 feedback, but 100% positive. Pretty trashed. I think that could probably be pressed pretty well. But it is pretty gnarly.
You could get that to an 8.5, no problem.
This definitely came in one of those 5 below packs.
Yes, right? I would.
What
state are they from?
They're from.
If there's 5 below,
North Carolina. North Carolina. So I think that like you wouldn't give this to a kid or have somebody just throw around like this if you didn't know what it was. And I think the only people that didn't know what it was are the people that got it in the 5 below packs. But it is the Jurjevic variant, and it sold for $1,500. So All right.
Oh,
this is a big deal right here, you guys. I don't think you realize how big of a deal this is. And I hope to God Steve Horn bought this. I hope to God Steve Horn bought this, you guys, because this is the type of grail that you miss out on and it makes you angry. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is a piece of cornbread. This right here, if you see these two covers on any DC Comics multi-pack, there's a very good chance that that's on the back. That is amazing.
If you remember,
dude, you know who texted that into today? I'm in the chat that you used to be in, dude. Literally, Topher said, "Do I bid on this at 1:00 today?" And I didn't read it. And then everybody said, "Damn, I missed it. Damn, I was looking at it."
I have held two of these, and I almost bought one. If you remember, Sean, from that dude in North Carolina that had all the fucking variants. There's no way that book is an 8 or an 8.5. I promise you zoom in on those corners. They're all bent, rounded in. It's amazing. I would love to have it the way
Keep
it is.
In there.
Yes.
$680. I'm buying it and keeping it right in that fucking package for
That's what I mean.
The entirety of its career. Until CGC starts making big old fucking things to grade things and put them in, because we're not that far off from that shit. I'm keeping it right in fucking there. And once they encapsulate that thing and then they grade it on like the integrity of the pack and the shrink wrap and shit and the color and the price tag, and it gets a fucking 8.5 out of it gets a 85 out of 100 or whatever the fuck scale they're going to try to use, then you're going to sell it for fucking $8,000, $20,000. So if I got that at that price, I'm not trying to get. Now, don't be wrong. A few years ago, that wouldn't have been my thinking. But now, dude, I would just keep that fucking thing, dude. Hell, dude, I love it, you know. And it's not doing it really any harm. It kind of is what it is. Like those, like the Ultimate Fallout 4s, it cuts that line into the back of it if you don't store it upright, and like, you know, just how it goes.
Yeah,
that's a
shout out to our boy Awesome Sauce Radio. He says, "Have a great night. Have a blessed rest of your week. Thank you for all being part of my life. Love you guys. Love you too, brother."
Love you too, man. That made my heart feel good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, all right, next, this guy, he goes by My Comics Direct, and he has been selling some crazy stuff. I don't know. Has anybody ever heard of this guy, My Comics Direct? Look at some of these crazy books that he has sold, like all these crazy homage covers that are recreations. This is Greg Land, Spider-Verse sketch. There's a Stan Lee signed by Dan Parent, but another Stan Lee sketch by Clayton Crane signed by Stan. I mean, this guy has just been selling some of the most amazing stuff. And look at these warehouse finds that he sold. Amazing Spider-Man 328, 34 of them. Spider-Man number 1, 30 of them. Amazing Spider-Man 325, 70 of them. Spawn number 9, 23 of them. Like all these crazy variants. That Capullo variant's badass out of 666. Spider-Man 1 newsstand. No, not newsstand. A couple of them are newsstand. But like, look at all these. And they're all near mint to near mint minus copies. And he's got some amazing, like, comic stuff that he sells. So this might be a very interesting seller to keep an eye on. I'll say that. I love finding sellers like these, like that just have these rare, weird things, and you can't tell if they're. Look at that. He sold a really nice, very fine plus San Diego Comic-Con.
Dude, this guy's one of us.
Yeah, right?
This guy's a pro. We need to...
This dude's gangster, dude. This guy works harder than I do. That's all I know. He's got French books and shit. 1 and 200.
We send him a fucking link and see if he wants to hang out.
So love this stuff. Go check him out. Definitely worth the follow on IG. My Comics Direct. All right. This is interesting. Okay. Like I said, I love Miles. This sold for $400. It's Miles Morales Spider-Man 1 through 42 plus a ton of extras. And it's great to have that set, but look at the extras. I mean, a lot of really cool variants tough variants, tough books like that. And those animated ones are tough to find. Shout out to Drew. I know Drew was one of the guys that really kind of brought that to the forefront. Some of those rare variants for 13 that are tough to find, and 10. But some of these
books have that much content,
right? I mean, but some of these books are tough books to find. And I love those Mayhew ones, man. And I love that Ivan Tao one. Very few books that I'll say that I love from Mayhew nowadays, but those ones were good. And whole set for 400. I think somebody probably got a good buy just because of all the extras. So pretty cool. All right. Star Wars. This is a Thrawn Matina variant. It is from Britain. It sold for $578.
I know a guy who spec'd on that once.
Yeah. All right, this is interesting. Rare sealed 2-pack. Super Mario Brothers #1, which is a Super Mario Brothers #3 cover. And then on the back, it's got the Nintendo Comic System. Both very rare books. This was how they originally came, I'm pretty sure, in certain situations. And this is a great buy, I think, for $431 if these are in nice condition. And they look pretty damn nice, to be honest. Let's take a double quick check. And these are like card stock covers, if you guys remember. So very, very tough. And they're in the original thing, the original sales point, I believe. But I mean, that book can sell for $400 on its own. So pretty cool. All right, check this out. 9.6s. I know all you 9.8 snobs, but this is Wolverine 66. All the variants for $300. You get the Turner. You get the Turner black and white. You get the regular black and white, and you get the Dynamic Forces edition.
I don't believe them.
Yeah.
What's in the
Dynamic
case?
Forces. What do you mean? What's in the case?
Or something taped to the back?
No, I don't think so.
I see what you mean. It looks like there's there's a piece of brown.
No, there's something in there, dude. That could be the
right there.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. The background.
Either they tape the COA to the back, or they or that's the paper they pretend they put in the archival paper that they pretend they put in everything. Nah, dude, that's the fucking paper slipped out the middle and CGC.
That is the paper. Yeah,
that's sweet quality control.
Yeah, you're right. But that's a great buy for all 4 of those 9.6 for $300, you guys.
That'd be my luck, is they'd fucking slab some shit like that and then look at it and be like, we can't put a 9.8 on it with that fucking gray piece of paper showing, and then they throw a 9.6 on there.
All right. I've never seen this. You guys ever seen this? Falling in Love, Volume 1, number 99 from 1968. Look at how cool that cover is. Like
guy's first eBay sale?
It might be. But look at that, like 60s vibe. Very, very cool. Just very, very cool to me. $400, and it is his first sale. Cello 1664.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So that was cool. We already went through that. The world
was a better place.
Yeah. All right.
It's more boring.
I've never heard of this. Heroes Hotline #4 from 1983. They're calling this the true first appearance of the Spider-Man black suit. And I've never heard of this.
Call Topher.
So, yeah, we're gonna have to call Topher. They don't even put the inside picture. You know what I mean? So there's the back. Let's see here. It says first appearance of Spider-Man black suit. Hard to find. So I don't know how it's $249 it sold for, and so it must. The only thing I can think of is that people know about it and we just didn't. So we'll have to look into it. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that and see if that is something that people can let us know about. All right, hold on. I got some more here.
Dude, look at the organization skills up here.
Right?
I like it. Got folders and shit.
All right. Yeah, we try. All right, have you ever heard of these? These are 4 Horsemen Mythic Legions figures, Masters of the Universe tribute figures for Man at Arms. This is the Man at Arms tribute. I've never seen this. Hold on, let me go back. Look at that. Like
as a one-time attender of a PowerCon, I'm kind of a little bit of an expert. No, I've not seen these.
Yeah, somebody drag you around a PowerCon?
No, fuck, I wanted to go. I was excited, to be honest with you.
You worked out. We went to PowerCon and UFC about 200 yards from each other in the same day.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Fucking great.
No, it was literally like the perfect weekend for Sean. Like,
dude, I was skipping around Diaz fight.
Yeah, it was a cool weekend.
I've never seen this. Pretty cool.
So Nate fight, right?
$1,000, you guys.
And we definitely didn't go to have some entertainment on Friday night before the fights. We definitely didn't do that.
Never.
How about $4,500 for a Spanish G1 Transformers Optimus Prime in a gold box? So the Spanish one came in a gold box. It's from 1991. Came out a little later than normal, but it sold for $4,500 on 17 bids. You guys, look at this.
We got the crispy box too.
Right?
Dude, that's so nice.
I've never seen that. Never heard of it. Pretty damn cool. $4,500 for that. So be on the lookout.
You really think about how insane the transformation on those toys were in the fucking early to mid 80s. Like the way that they think about the engineering and the joints and the articulation just to make it, to turn that into a truck and then to turn it into a figure. I'm still amazed at the quality of those early Transformers figures and the metal and the way that they did them. And they were relatively cheap at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn cool. All right. Next. I don't remember these, but let me know if anybody in the chat remember them. They're called Soma Monster Man. They're glow in the dark little monsters from I guess a long time ago. And they sold for $525. So it says here 1986 is when they were manufactured. So this could be.
I didn't have one of these in the toy chest.
Yeah,
I did.
Pretty cool. Oh, you didn't? They're pretty cool though. Here we go. All right, this toy lot sold for $1,100. It just says large toy lot, you guys, and it sold immediately. I don't know if these are super rare, but they're super cool, and I never knew about them. Look at these. They're Mighty Ducks figures.
From that old D23 show?
Is that what it's from? Is it a D23 show? I've never seen these. They're Mighty Ducks action figures, but like DuckTales style. And they sold for $1,100. What the fuck? G.I. Joe figures. This is super cool. I've never seen this, and I want to know if anybody has seen this or anybody got this when they were kids. Let me know if this is how it came, because this looks legit. It's from 1992. It's a G.I. Joe collector's case, and in the case came with some cool things. It came with a weapons tree, right, with a bunch of weapons on it. It came with a cool little mini comic, a Keel Hall figure, which of course is the figure that came with the this aircraft carrier, right? And you could send away for them at Sears, and that's what the red back means on there. And then another little collector's book, and I have never seen this. Sold for $300.
That seems light, doesn't it?
It does seem light, you guys. That does seem light. So I thought that was pretty cool. One of my all-time favorite toys as a kid was the Muscles. I call them Muscle Men. Kinnikuman, of course, from Japan. And this was a lot of 226 of them. And I love that, but I also love how they displayed them. And I want to go and print these out and see how close I have to the set. But check this out. There's these little papers that you can print out, and it shows all the figures that they're missing.
That's kind of cool,
right?
I like shit like that.
Yeah. I have a full gallon bag of these guys. I got some of the colored ones also.
Some of them are worth a ton of money, Sean.
Some guy named Brian McClay made for me.
I did.
I got good shit. Yeah,
I did. These used to be great things to make magnets out of, but now I realize how much they're worth. So I had to quit making magnets out of them. But
dude, your magnets, literally, I can turn around and show you. Your magnets are on my refrigerator over there. You can't. I don't know if you can see it, but I mean,
they're on my fridge. You can't. My fridge isn't.
They're old school. Old
They
school,
were cool.
man.
They were thoughtful. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you had the Damien
exactly.
one. It was cool.
Yeah, man. I always think that the best gifts are gifts that are thoughtful and that take a little time, like
Way
that.
better.
Yeah.
God, those
So,
are I can't and I know obviously you heard me say that. I can't tell you why these are like my favorite shit.
yeah.
Like the Motu stuff was fun and all that. I cannot explain. Maybe because you get so many of them and they're
These
so
and Garbage
simple
Pail
but so
Kids.
different. And most of mine they have mine because my friends would have them. So they got my mom would put my initials on the bottom.
Yeah.
So if you ever get a SL muscle from somewhere, the pedigree, that's the Sean Leggett pedigree for muscles.
He said pedigree.
Yeah, dude, I can't tell you. Like, I literally can't explain like why these are my fucking favorite things.
They're so cool, man.
And that's
They're
why
so
they got
cool.
the Masters of the Universe ones that Super 7 made too, which are
Yes.
obviously amazing.
Yeah.
And I think I need to see if I can buy some so I can open them and play with them.
All right. I've never seen these. These are mint on cards, G2 Transformers, rare orange KB Toys Constructicons Devastators. They're orange instead of neon green. They're neon orange and purple. The whole set.
I was at my uncle's wedding, and my mom told me that I told the entire story of those in my sleep when they came on of the Constructicons.
They're so cool, bro.
Right? She said I told the whole story of all the Constructicons in my sleep as a child in a hotel room. So she was like near me. I didn't sleep back with my parents at that age, but yeah.
Okay. All right. We've got just a couple more, and then we're going to call it a night, you guys. These were G.I. Joe figures that they did for San Diego 2012, where they came with the Constructicon Devastators Transformers. It's the Battle Android Troopers, but like a Constructicon type. And look how cool these things are, man. I loved the bats when I was a kid, and these have the Constructicon look to them. Sold for $124 loose, which is crazy. And then finally,
that's another Grail of mine, to be honest with you, an in-box Devastator.
Yeah. This is a crazy poster from 1930 France. It's an old school poster advertising something. It sold for $1,000, but I think this would be amazing to have. Look how cool it is. Old school French advertising poster, crazy art on it. I don't know. This stuff to me is kind of goofy when you first see it, but then when you think about how rare it is to have that poster, they just threw these up on walls out there with glue on a paint roll. You know what I mean? And then this is crazy. An old original James Brown concert poster from 1971. Look at the art. Like,
that's badass.
It just takes you back. And I wasn't even around at that time, but it feels like you're just been transported to that time period. And this sold for $414, which is crazy. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the market report for October 9th, 2023.